Guatemala, it rains a lot during the rainy season. The rainy season starts in May, ends in October, November-ish. But there's, like I described earlier, the time where it rained and we all had to get on the bus. That was one of the craziest rains I ever saw. One time we were in the MTC, we were in the temple on our P day, and the MTC is like half a block away. There's like a gas station and like a house in between, and I was wearing my suit, and I was a thick suit coat too, and just in the time we sprinted from the temple door to the MTC door. Just in the time from sprinting, we got so wet that we literally had to change everything. That's how hard it was raining. I mean, I had to change everything I was wearing. My shoes, everything. I mean, everything. Because it was raining so hard. It doesn't rain that hard very often, but it rained. And in some of those higher areas, it got really cold and there's no heating. So we'd go home at night, we'd just curl up in like 10 blankets because it was like, it was below 40 degrees and there was no heating. That only happens in a few areas, and I happened to get 2 of those. Great areas, so I loved them so much. The cold made the work unique, but the craziest weather just got kind of cold, which, it's not cold for someone coming from the U.S., just, the fact that there's no heating makes it really cold. And the rain every once in a while just gets really, really intense. So in Guatemala, when they want to, like, make something, like, they kind of want to, like, emphasize something, they'll do this. Like, hit this finger against that one, just do that. It took me a year to learn how to do it. It made me so angry that I couldn't do it. Once I got, like you'd see something cool, you'd be like, oh, right? So that's something to do. So I learned how to do that. I never learned how to whistle, because when you want to call the people, you whistle. You whistle really loud. I could never learn how to do that one. But that's what I got. I was super excited to be able to do that when I got it. The raw bull testicle was weird. That was weird, honestly. Like, because they made it in a ceviche, so it was like mixed with other things. It was mixed with like tomato, it was lime juice, had onion in it, and I don't know what else, maybe like cilantro. It's cilantro in Spanish. And they put it in a cup and you kind of just like drink it. It was really kind of runny. It was the most extreme thing I ate, and it was weird. It was just, that's the only way to describe it. It was just weird. So Guatemala is a dangerous country, except in our mission, basically. The only thing I ever saw were guys who would run drugs to the border, but they want to keep a low profile because they don't want to get caught. So really, the only thing I really heard of people getting like robbed was like pickpocketing. Or when I was in one of my districts, they broke into one of the sisters' houses when they weren't home. So in terms of like being robbed, being mugged, being held at gunpoint, knife point, that doesn't happen really. I never met anyone who ever had that happen. I heard stories from I heard this guy did that, right? But I never met anyone who had that happen to him. But the most dangerous thing is like when you're walking on the streets, a lot of places don't have sidewalks, so there's no speed limits either, so the cars just kind of go. I remember there's several times where I felt prompted to all of a sudden just jump off the side of the road, and then a bus would just go flying by, and if I hadn't jumped, it would hit me. I mean, that happened several times. One time I got clipped on the shoulder because I didn't move fast enough. But several times where I felt prompted to just jump, and the Spirit protected me. But in terms, that's really it. Just being aware, because there are no crosswalks either, so you have to jaywalk across highways. So we play a game called 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, run, right? But the most dangerous thing is when you're walking and there's traffic. That's really the most dangerous thing, or the dogs. But in terms of someone hurting you intentionally, not really. You're pretty much good. When we're in the MTC, it's right next to the temple, right? So members from around will come to the temple, and they'll ask them, "Hey, do you want to come help out the elders in the MTC? You can pretend to be an investigator." And we were like, so we'd go in and teach them in a house right next to the temple. And we went in with this one member. See, I was in a trio because there was an uneven number of elders, so I was in a trio. And we had a lesson plan, right? But we were like, "Hey, before we start, are there any questions you have for us?" So he stands up and he starts asking us this question, but we have no idea what's going on. So he's like using his finger to draw things on the wall and point things out, and we're like, what is going on? And we're standing there and the words we catch, because we don't know very much, we're trying to clarify things. What is that? And we sat there for 10 minutes, and then his time was up, so we had to leave. So we had him ask our teacher what he was saying, And for 10 minutes, he'd been trying to ask us why we celebrate Halloween in the U.S. And because Halloween is viewed as a bad thing there, but why we celebrate it in the U.S. For 10 minutes, he'd been trying to ask us that. We couldn't understand him. That was kind of a funny experience. Another time, we were teaching an investigator. We were teaching him the commandments. We were trying to teach him about the law of chastity. I don't know how. I mean, I had like 16 months. My companion had like 19, so we were very proficient in Spanish. I don't know, and he was someone who was educated and spoke Spanish as well. So I don't know how this went wrong. But for some reason, he thought it was the day of chastity instead of the law of chastity. So like, there's like, I don't know if he thought like, I don't know what he was thinking, but it was a day of chastity. Where like we did weird things. I don't remember what he asked, but that was a day of chastity instead of a law of chastity. That was really funny. We laughed about that one for a long time. A mission just teaches you a lot. I have no regrets about serving a mission. I never will. I learned so much on my mission. I learned from the Guatemalan people, like I mentioned earlier, the dedication to family and the importance of family is just kind of re-emphasized the family to me and how important it is to be dedicated to family. I've learned the importance of hard work. I mean, I'd already been a very hardworking person. I paid for my mission myself. But kind of re-emphasized, the more what you put into it is what you get out of it. Because definitely, as a missionary, the more you work, if you work intelligently, right? That's part of the game. That's what you learn. Learn how to work intelligently. But if you work hard, you'll have success. If you dedicate yourself to working the right way and doing it as hard as you can, you'll have success. That's another testimony I kind of had reaffirmed is, hard work and dedication. Another thing, I found a self-confidence as well. Before my mission, I kind of struggled with self-confidence every once in a while and my own self-image. But as I got further in my mission, I kind of learned to accept who I was. Not like I'm a crazy person or anything, but I learned how to accept who I was and to love who I was and the talents I have and what I could do with those talents and how the Lord had blessed me with those talents and, how I could use those talents in the situation the Lord wanted me to. You learn so much on a mission. And a lot of those lessons are unique to every person. Every person is going to learn different things on their mission, have different experiences. Even in the same mission, you could go to the exact same area as I did. You're going to have different experiences. You're going to learn different things. But everything's going to be tailored to you. The Lord's going to fit everything to you so that He can teach you what He wants you to know for you and your life after the mission.